Hey guys, it's Bay. What's going on? So I got a really quick video for you guys today. It's not gonna have any gameplay or anything. Mostly I'm just gonna talk about my seasonals lineup, why I'm picking the decks I'm gonna pick, what my strategy for bans are. Maybe it'll help you think about your tournament lineups. Hopefully the way that I approached it can maybe impart some knowledge on what you should be looking to do when you do construct a tournament lineup. So yeah, like I said, no gameplay in this one. So if you want to skip this video, totally fine, no worries. But I've been getting this question a lot, and I wanted to try to help you guys out. So this is my lineup. These first three decks so far. This may change. This video is gonna go live Friday, so the day before seasonals. I'm recording it the night before. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So first deck is Thresh Nasus. It's like the best all-arounder deck in the format, most likely, besides probably Ezreal Draven. Pretty good matchup tables. This is a very standard version. I may tweak 1 or 2 cards, but this is pretty much what I'm on right now. 2 Rite of Calling, no Wings, 1 Rite of Negation, 3 Leech, 2 Atrocity. Nothing too crazy. Basically, I just want a consistent deck. Thresh Nasus is very powerful. It has very good game against the aggro decks. You're going to see a theme here. Maybe I should go over this first. My whole lineup, I want to do a couple things. One, I want it to beat aggro. It doesn't have to crush aggro. It doesn't have to be the best anti-aggro decks in the meta, but I want it to beat aggro. I don't want to see triple aggro and go, God damn it, right? Like that's such a horrible feeling, and I want to feel safe when I play against aggro. And Thresh Nasus is a very good anti-aggro tool. You have a little bit of incidental life gain with the Vile Feast, not really that relevant, but the important part is that you get on board fast and you get on board hard. You can even put a lot of these aggressive decks on the back foot super, super easily. And then you have the Atrocity I Win button, which is very helpful for when you're like, okay, well, my opponent's going to put an Auction Fervor on the stack and kill me, and they're still at 7. Doesn't matter. I'm throwing this Bakai Reaper at your face. That's huge. It has that ability to just end the game, which is so good against aggro. Also, I want them to have the same kind of general weakness, and all 3 of these decks struggle very hard. Thresh Nasus, Dragons, and Ezreal Draven struggle very hard against Lissandra decks, both Turbo Thralls and TLC. So the first, maybe not Turbo Thralls with Ezreal Draven, but just bear with me. So I have a common ban. If I see a Lissandra, I'm most likely banning it. The second thing is I need it to have game against the Aurelia Azir lineups. So the typical Aurelia Azir lineup right now looks like Overwhelm, Deep, Aurelia Azir. And you can swap out Overwhelm for Turbo Thralls if you want. I can ban the Turbo Thralls deck or the Overwhelm deck or Aurelia Azir, and I can play against the rest of it. It's pretty good. This is a solid lineup into Aurelia Azir. It is not here to crush Aurelia Azir, and it's probably not going to, but it's good. Thresh Nasus is one of the better decks against Aurelia Azir. Ezraven's pretty close to 50-50, maybe even a little favored. I don't think so. And then Dragons is not great. It's like 45-55, maybe. But it's one of the better all-arounder decks against Azir Aurelia. And I do not want to go into the tournament weak to it. So they all have that in common. And then it's just, I just want to play powerful decks. I want to do powerful things. You're going to face a lot of random stuff in seasonals or in any open style tournament you go into. It's a little different. The smaller the field, the more you can metagame it. But with these big, huge fields, people bring whatever they want. They bring their pet decks. They bring the only decks they have. They bring the decks they practiced 2 seasons ago, right? Like, people are going to bring a lot of random stuff. And so I want my stuff to be stronger. I want it to be inherently doing more powerful things. And I think these 3 decks do a really good job of doing that. Thresh Nasus is incredibly powerful, has a very proactive game plan. Next up is Dragons. Dragons has a lot of the same matchup tables as Thresh Nasus, which I really like. This list is kind of boring. Nothing too crazy. 2 Chow. I don't want to go on 3. 3's too many. 1 feels like a little too few. 1 Zoe. This is a full party Zoe skin. I don't know why it's not. I have it selected. Yes, thank you. Maybe it just doesn't show it in the collection. I'll be really sad if I load into a game and it's not full party Zoe. Lieutenants, triple goat. Nothing crazy. 3 sharp sights, 3 singles. Don't leave home without them. 3 hush. Not two hush. 3 hush. If you're not banning Thresh Nasus, you need to bring 3 hush. It's the best card against Thresh Nasus, period. Like, you need 3 if you're not planning on banning it. 1 Dragon's Clutch to hopefully find Eclipse and Azul. But sometimes you hit like Shyvana and Screeching, and that's okay. Laurent, Shyvana. My split for lifesteal units is 2, 3, 1 Solari, Fangs, and Guardian, respectively. 2 Concerted Strikes. I don't want to go up to 3. It's a little too clunky. 1 Star Shaping, and then 2 and 2 for the top end. Dragons, Eclipse, and Acel. Could go up to 3. My, like, flex slot right now is, like, Star Shaping, the second Laurent Protege, and some of my 2-drops can change around, except for Lieutenant, that has to stay as a 3 of. One card I'd like to fit in there, but isn't in there, is a Strafing Strike. The Dragon single combat one. You know what I'm talking about. Let's see if we can find it here. This one. It's single combat for 3, but if it's a dragon, it heals 2 afterwards. It's fine. It's single combat number 4. I'd really like to fit it in. I've been testing out the Star Shaping, and it's been going pretty well. It's fine. But I think Strafing Strike is really good, and I'd really like to fit it in. So I'm going to try to do that. And that is deck number 2. Ezreal Draven is deck number 3. Another super strong, all-rounder, strong game plan. Oh, really quick. Sorry, jumping around a lot. This is just going to be one take. Dragons, my decision was between Dragons and Zoe Vi. And I decided to go with Dragons mostly because the matchup tables are very, very similar. But I think Dragons is better against Thresh Nasus, and also it destroys Zoe Vi. Having the Acel I win is so good in that matchup because you're just gonna trade resources. Also, their removal doesn't line up very well against you. Like anything that's 4 toughness and up is tough for them. It's tough for them to remove, especially if you're smart about when you play your things and don't walk straight into a Vi or an easy Thermal Beam. So that's why I picked Dragons over Zoe Vi. I know a lot of you have seen me play that deck. Ezreal Draven is deck number 3. Nothing crazy. Some of my flex slots might change. The 3rd Static, the Scorched Excited Culling numbers might move around. The House Spider, the 3rd Rummage. You know, some of that might shift, but like, here's the deck. It's very similar to the decks you've seen me play in the past with Ezreal Draven. I like it a lot. The numbers might change a bit, like I said, but deck hasn't changed much. It's just the best like 50-50 deck in the format, in my opinion, right now. It just comes into matchups like, you know, it's like, how do you feel about this matchup? It's fine. How do you feel about this one? It's okay. You know, like, there's no like bad matchups. There are, but we ban them. And there's no like super, super good matchups. They're mostly just really in the middle. And I think this deck awards skilled players with it a lot, and I really like that. I have a lot of experience with this deck, so excited to play this one. And yeah, it all comes together. These are my 3 decks. Some other ones that I thought about playing but didn't was like I said, Zoe Vi. The other Targon decks that I've been experimenting, like Diana Draven with the Culling Strikes, just didn't quite work out. Unfortunately, Lee is just not good enough. And then the other big decks are like Azir Aurelia that I just can't fit into this lineup. Also, I want my Lamb to be pretty good against Thresh Nasus because I expect to see it a lot. And so I have Dragons, which would eat the ban, and then I'd probably just play like mirrors / 50/50s, and I'm okay with that, and just try to outplay my opponent. Yeah, nothing too crazy. None of the other decks in the format I really wanted to play. I like the play style of these decks. I'm upset I can't get more Targon in the lineup, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. Yeah, so this is gonna be it. Check it out on Saturday. I'm gonna be streaming it with a delay. Obviously, getting sniped is a real concern, but yeah, make sure you check it out. We gotta go 8-1. 8-1. I believe the tournament starts at 9 o'clock Pacific time. So yeah, thank you for coming by. Be there or be square, I guess. I'll see you later, guys.